By bus, there are a staggering number of long-distance buses in Korea. During rush hour, some scheduled services can run as often as every 2 minutes, with all departing on time. They come in two types: express, 고속, and inner city, 시외. Pronounce it 시외. Although the express services are more expensive and tend to be used for longer journeys, they are likely to run in tandem with inner-city buses on many routes. Allied to this, the two bus types use separate stations in most cities, and even the locals don't always know which one to go to, or which one they will be arriving at. Very frustrating, though some cities are starting to see sense and group both into one building. Gwangju, for example. Some cities have even more than two, so all in all, it pays to keep a loose schedule when using buses, even more so if the highways are full. Longer journeys are broken at service stations, housing fast food bars and snack shops. Resonating to the sound of the throat, a Korean word for worldly grandmother, techno. Tapes on sale outside. You typically get 15 minutes to make your purchases and use the toilets. There aren't any on the buses, but many of travelers has come a cropper after exiting the building to be confronted by 40 near-identical vehicles, of which half a dozen may be heading to the same destination. Your bus won't wait for you, so make sure that you know where it's parked. Buses are so frequent that it's rare for them to sell out. Through the last service of the day between major cities tends to be quite full. This can be surprisingly early. Many services make their last trips at 7 p.m., though some have overnight connections. Prices are reasonable and usually lower than the trains, with inner-city services slightly cheaper than express. If the two coexist, Seoul to Busan is around 25,000 won, 5 hours. On the former, 35,000 won, 4 hours 30 minutes. On the latter, journeys take longer than the fastest trains and are more prone to delays. Tickets are often checked at the start of the journey, but also at the end, so if possible, try to avoid losing your ticket, lest the driver refuse to release you from his bus, which does happen. City buses. With little English language on the signs or vehicles, Korea's city bus networks can be more than a little confusing for the first-time visitor, and some of Seoul's route numbers look more like postcodes once you are familiar with the route. City buses can be a good way of getting around. They are pleasantly frequent and very affordable at around 1,000 won per ride. Throw your money into the collection box next to the driver. Change will be spat out just below. Make sure that you own ample supply of coins or 1,000 won notes with you, as higher value bills are unlikely to be accepted, though foreigners in such situations may be waved on with a grin. The bigger cities have started to avoid these problems by introducing prepaid cars. These work out cheaper per journey than paying by cash, and some are also valid on subway networks or longer distance buses. They last for as long as you have credit and can be topped up in increments of 1,000 won at kiosks of tickets booths. By car or motorbike. There are good reasons for the relative reluctance of travelers to hire a car in Korea. The main one is the country's excellent public transport infrastructure. Another, the threat posed by Korean drivers. Korean road fatality rates are often cited as the highest in the world, with most estimates putting the figures above 30 for 100,000 people per year, 5 times higher than the UK, for example. If you do decide to drive, you will inevitably get snarled up in the traffic that plies the cities and highways, with exceptions being Jeju Island and rural Gangwon province in the northeast, where the roads are relatively calm and traffic-free. To hire a car, you will need an international driving license and to be at least 21 years of age. Rental offices can be found at all airports and many train stations. As well as around the cities, prices usually start at 45,000 won per day, though as insurance is compulsory. You should budget on a little extra. Vehicles usually drive on the right-hand side of the road, though not all the time. The pavement can be just as popular in some city areas.